Here we are on day 13. Aquí estamos en día 13. And we are moving along in the story of Jacob and his family. Estamos siguiendo con la historia de Jacob y su familia. And we're looking at a very significant time in Jacob's life. Estamos viendo un tiempo muy significado en la vida de Jacob in Genesis 35, 1 through 15. Genesis 35, 1 a 15. So Jacob has come back with his family, with his two wives. Jacob ha regresado con su familia, con sus dos esposas, with Rachel and Leah, con Raquel y Leah, and their families y sus familias. And they're settling into their new territory. Están ya acostumbrados a nuevo terreno. And there's a problem between Jacob's family, some of his sons. Y hay un problema entre la familia de Jacob, uno de sus hijos, and some families of the land where they settled. Y unas familias donde ellos están viviendo. And Jacob's fearful for the life of his family now. Y Jacob tiene miedo de la vida de su familia ahora. And so he goes to seek the favor of the Lord. Él va a buscar el favor de Dios. And he tells his family, put away all the foreign gods. Put away all the gods that aren't real. Y él dice a su familia, deja los dioses extraños. Y deja todos los dioses que no son el Dios real. And he goes and he builds an altar to the Lord to seek the Lord's favor. Y él va a construir un altar al Señor, a buscar a favor de Dios. And while he's doing that, mientras él está haciendo esto, God calls out to Jacob. Dios llama a Jacob, and he says, look, your name was Jacob. Y él dice, tu nombre era Jacob. And Jacob actually means grabber of the heel, remember? Y recuerdas que el nombre de Jacob quiere decir agarrador de tobillo, because he was after his brother. When he was born holding on to his brother's heel. Y él estaba buscando a su hermano toda su vida. Y él, después de su hermano nació, él salió agarrado del tobillo de su hermano. And so he was named grabber of the heel. Y fue nombrado tomador o agarrador de tobillo. And that wasn't a good thing. Y eso no era algo bueno. And it's played out in his life. Y se vio en su vida that he was always after the right of his brother. Y estaba siempre buscando el derecho de su hermano. And now he's back and has a family established. Y él ya ha regresado y tiene su familia establecido. And God says, your name was Jacob, and now I'm going to change it. Dios dice, tu nombre era Jacob, y ahora voy a cambiarlo. Your name's going to be Israel. Tu nombre va a ser Israel. And Israel just means the one who walks with God. Y Israel quiere decir el quien camina con Dios. And that promise that God makes with Jacob right now, y esta promesa que Dios hace con Jacob ahorita, that's not a promise to a specific nation that we now know as the nation of Israel. Esta no es una promesa solamente con una nación que ahora sabemos as the nation de Israel, but it is a promise to the church. Pero es a promesa a la iglesia. In Galatians, it refers to the church as the Israel of God. No, en Gálatas refiere a la iglesia como the Israel de Dios. And that's what Israel is. Y ese es que es Israel. There's an Israel by name and a place in our world where we can look and say, this is the country of Israel. Hay un Israel por nombre que podemos decir, en este terreno está la nación de Israel. And then there's a true Israel. Y hay también un Israel verdadero. And that Israel is the church of God. Y ese Israel is la iglesia de Dios. And that Israel is bought only in the blood of Christ. Y este Israel está comprado solo en la sangre de Cristo. And we need to know that the true church walks with God. Y debemos saber que la iglesia verdadera camina con Dios. And now Jacob, which is now Israel, y ahora Jacob, que ahora es Israel, receives the same promise that his father Isaac had received and his father Abraham received. Recibe la misma promesa que su padre Isaac ha recibido y su padre Abraham había recibido. And that's the promise that they would be fruitful and numerous. Esta promesa que ellos serán numerosos. And we see the church today is a great number. Y vemos hoy en día que la iglesia es un gran número, and that we're part of that same promise. Y que nosotros somos parte de esa misma promesa.